Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something that I think for millions of people feels like a huge uphill climb.
A permanent one, almost.
Exactly, building real, usable English proficiency.
It is. It's seen as this colossal task.
Yeah.
And I think the reason so many people struggle isn't really the complexity of English itself, but it's the story they tell themselves.
What do you mean?
That internal story that says, learning English is very hard and I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
That feeling, it can paralyze you before you even start.
That initial friction. That's what we want to get rid of today. Our source material really gets that feeling, but it offers this powerful counter-narrative.
It does. It says improvement is absolutely achievable.
Yeah.
But not through, marathon study sessions.
Yeah.
It's through strategic daily habits, and this is crucial. A positive mindset.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because if we agree that time is the biggest problem for most people,
Which it is.
how does the source suggest we structure our day? How do we get the most gain without, burning?
That brings us right to the first foundational idea. Pillar 1, the power of consistency. And this is where the advice really challenges the old ways of learning.
We're always told that to learn fast, you need intensity, right? Like a weekend boot camp or 4 hours every night after work.
And look, intense study can work for a bit, but it's just not sustainable for most people. It leads to what experts call forgetting curves. Your brain can only take so much in.
What's the alternative?
The key finding here is that the duration, how long you study, is way less important than the regularity.
So that 3-hour study session I cram in on a Sunday.
Is actually less valuable than just 15 or 20 minutes every single day.
Only 15 minutes.
The source is adamant about this, 15 to 20 minutes. When you keep it that short, you avoid getting mentally exhausted and you start building a powerful daily habit.
That immediately lowers the bar. In a good way. If I know I only need 15 minutes, I'm much less likely to procrastinate. I can just weave that into a routine I already have.
Absolutely. You integrate it. Maybe it's on your commute or while you're waiting for your coffee. It stops being this huge, scary obligation.
It's just a small part of your day.
A small, inevitable part of your day. And that consistency is what builds the neural pathways you need for language.
Okay, so if consistency is the engine, we need to talk about the work itself. What do we do in those 15 minutes? Let's start with training the ears, listening.
Listening is so critical. It's the gateway skill. It's how you get all the input your brain needs to start making sense of things.
And the plan for that is?
Simple. Listen to English every day. And this is key use sources you actually find enjoyable.
Okay, so I'm listening for my 15 minutes. I should be trying to understand every single word, right? Pausing, looking things up.
You'd think so, but no. That's actually the exact opposite of what the source suggests. And this is a huge aha moment for learners.
Really?
Yeah. It is absolutely okay not to understand everything at first.
But if I'm just listening to a podcast I only half understand, isn't that just background noise? How is that actually helping me learn?
That's a great question. And it comes down to the science of it all. When you get exposed to the language over and over, even if you only get, say, 60 or 70%, you're training your ears for two things.
Okay.
Prosody and word boundaries.
Prosody, what's that?
It's the rhythm, the stress, the intonation of English. You know how we don't stress every word equally.
Right.
And how native speakers blend words together, like going to becomes gonna.
Or cup of tea becomes cup of tea. It sounds like one word.
Precisely.
Yeah.
The goal of that 15 minutes is just exposure. Your brain starts to recognize those sounds, that pace, those patterns, all subconsciously. You're just building familiarity.
So the goal shifts from I must understand everything to I must listen consistently.
Exactly. It makes the whole task feel so much more achievable.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's move to the skill that I think causes the most anxiety for people. Yes, that fear of making mistakes. It's a huge wall. It stops so many people before they even try.
It's universal. Yeah. But the source material gives us this really powerful mindset shift. Mistakes are not a failure.
They feel like a failure.
I know, but think of them as data points.
Data points.
Yeah, they're just part of the learning process. If you aren't making mistakes, it means you aren't pushing the boundaries of what you know.
That's a great way to reframe it. It takes the pressure off. But practically, what if I don't have anyone to practice with for my 15 minutes?
You don't need anyone. The source gives a few great accessible actions. The first one is the internal monologue.
You mean just talking to myself?
Exactly. Narrate your life out loud.
Like, I am now opening the fridge, I see some milk, I am going to make some cereal.
Yes. Or talk about your day, your feelings. It's a low-pressure way to force your brain to access vocabulary and grammar in real time. You're moving the language from passive to active.
That's a fantastic idea, but what if I get stuck? I'm holding a spatula, but I don't know the word for it.
That's a good thing. You just found a gap in your active vocabulary. You can describe it or look it up quickly and just keep going. The priority here is fluency over perfect accuracy.
Just keep talking.
Just keep talking.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more confident you'll feel and the quicker you'll get. It's a positive feedback loop.
Confidence breeds attempts. Attempts breed improvement. Okay, let's move on to reading. This is how most people try to build vocabulary, right?
It is. Reading gives you what's called comprehensible input. It shows you grammar rules in action, not just in a textbook. And the advice is to start simple.
What's simple?
Short stories, easy news articles, or even just English posts on social media about a topic you already love.
I like that. I don't have to go find a special book. I can just change what I'm doing when I'm already scrolling my phone.
Precisely. And just like with listening, here is the crucial strategy. Do not try to understand every single word.
So no dictionary next to me at all times.
Right. If you stop for every word you don't know, you'll slow down, you'll lose the flow, and the whole thing will feel like a chore.
So what's the goal then? How much should I aim to understand?
The general idea is about 80%. If you understand the main gist of the sentence from context, you're doing great. That other 20%, the words you don't know, that's your growth zone.
So I just trust that I'll see the important words again and again, and they'll eventually stick.
Exactly. It lets vocabulary grow naturally, not by force. It also lets you read faster and enjoy it more, which helps you stay consistent.
Okay, that brings us to the last skill, writing. This one can feel really intimidating.
It can, but the source presents it as this powerful, really low-pressure tool for organizing your thoughts and locking in what you've learned.
And I guess it's the one place where you have time to think and edit yourself.
That's the beauty of it. And you don't need to write essays. The advice is so practical. Just write a few sentences every day.
A few sentences on what? Give me some prompts.
Simple, personal stuff. Write down what you learned in your listening practice. Write about how you're feeling. Or just list your plans for tomorrow.
I can do that.
The benefit here is something called memory encoding. When you listen or read, you're recognizing the language. But when you write, you have to actively recall it and structure it.
You're pulling it out of your brain instead of just letting it in.
Exactly. That active production helps organize your thoughts in English, and it really makes new words and grammar stick.
So if consistency is the engine and these 4 skills are the wheels, we need to talk about the fuel, the mindset. How do we keep this daily habit going for the long run?
The advice on enjoyment is so critical. If you're forcing yourself to read articles you find boring, you're creating this huge mental resistance.
So it's about finding what you love.
Yes. If you love science fiction, read sci-fi blogs in English. If you follow a sport, watch the commentary in English.
When the learning feels like entertainment, it stops feeling like a chore. That's a huge shift.
It is. You start learning because you want to, not because you have to. And that's way more powerful.
And tied into that has to be patience. Because progress can feel so slow sometimes. You hit these plateaus where you feel like you're just stuck.
Everyone does. It happens to every learner. Think of it like building a stone wall.
Okay.
You place a few stones every single day, and for a long time, it doesn't look like a wall at all. It just looks like a pile of rocks. But then one day, you step back and you realize you've built something substantial.
The compounding effect.
That's it, exactly. The sources end with this really powerful encouragement. Every single day you practice, you are moving forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. You just have to believe in yourself and keep going.
What's so amazing here is that the Souls provides such a clear path. It's not about intense, exhausting struggle. It's about small, strategic effort.
The recipe for success is really clear. Consistent, enjoyable daily practice across the 4 skills, coupled with a lot of patience. It's an approach built to work with your brain, not against it.
So what does this all mean? The path to being proficient isn't some stressful sprint. It's more like a dedicated 15 or 20-minute walk you take every single day.
A walk, not a race.
Yeah. And if you can commit to that rhythm, stay consistent, and remember that mistakes are just part of the process, your English will get stronger, clearer, and much more confident.
The key is just starting. We've laid out these 4 areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
So for you, the listener, which of those four presents the smallest barrier to entry for you right now? Maybe it's listening while you brush your teeth or writing 3 sentences before you go to sleep. Starting with the easiest, most enjoyable step is often the key to unlocking that powerful habit of daily consistency that really drives success in the long term.